The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Buick GMC, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, and the resale division, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Penfield, Fairport, Canandaigua, Ontario, and Palmyra, and online at visionauto.com. Hi everyone, and welcome into the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County, beginning with our honor roll of high school teams. This week at number 3, Spencerport Boys Volleyball. The Rangers finished second at states in Division 2. Spencerport won the first set before losing to Eastport Manor 3-1. Number 2, the HFL Girls Volleyball team capped its 4th straight Section 5 championship with a state title. The Cougars defeated Oswego in a 5-set final in Class B. And at number 1, Penfield Volleyball, the boys and the girls. Both teams capped undefeated seasons with state championships. Simply amazing. We raved a year ago how Aquinas won both state titles in football and boys basketball. This is nearly on par with that. Which brings us to the home of another state champion, Pittsford, for the swan song of one of the Panthers' finest swimmers, whose departure definitely does not mark the end of a dynasty. This is the end of an era in the Pittsford swimming pool, the latest of many eras here. The younger half of the once formidable Katie Smith-Lindsay Stone tandem is graduating this year.
It's a different feel. Everyone's more committed, I think, now. You've seen that we've won 2 state titles Pittsford has in a row, and everyone is really committed to the excellence.
Smith was the sprinter. She left Pittsford as a state record holder last year to attend Notre Dame. Stone dominates the distance events and will reunite with Smith at Notre Dame next year. And like Katie, Lindsay owns a state record in the 500.
I've definitely had my eye on that since I was a freshman. When I first won states, I looked at that record and said, all right, that's going to be mine. And I don't know, it was great to have that as a goal. So having that record, I think, made me swim so much faster, because I don't know if, as an 8th grader, I would have ever thought I'd be going 4:46.
A coaching veteran of 44 years, Marty Keating knows the real thing when he sees it.
She's a great kid. She's a good leader. And she leads by performing, and she leads by being a positive influence on the girls, and she shows them what hard work is.
While this may be the end of an era, it's not the end of the line. Pittsford won its 15th consecutive sectional title this fall by 300 points. And consider that of the 15 Panthers qualified to swim at states, 12 were underclassmen.
This year we had 35 swimmers and 3 divers, and 20 of the 35 swimmers were 8th and 9th graders.
Wow. So what does that say about the program?
The program looks like it's in good shape for the next couple of years. And it's sort of bad news to the rest of Section 5.
Megan Dool is one of those young swimmers, a freshman who laid claim to sectional titles in the butterfly, backstroke, and contributed to 2 winning relay teams. Dool credits Stone, one generation of swimmer to the next.
Training this year with Lindsay and everybody has been so great, and it's just like motivates me to do better, like just swimming with them. And I feel like that carried me into sectionals.
What's it like when you see Lindsay and you see what, the level to which you can accomplish things here with this team? What has that been like for you?
I mean, it's so amazing, and it's just like showing you like what can happen, like swimming with somebody like that who's accomplished so much and she's done so well. It's just like it makes you want to be like that and work to achieve what she's done.
When you're with a person of that caliber, at first you're awestruck. When you first come into the program, you're awestruck. And then I try to explain to them, she is a human being just like you, and she hurts just like you.
Meanwhile, Stone prepares to take the next step at Notre Dame.
I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. I've heard little bits and pieces from Katie Smith, who's already there, but it's going to be totally different. It's a totally different atmosphere. You still have the same team aspect, I guess, but it's bringing everything to the next level. So it's working on nutrition. Everyone's into nutrition. Everyone's into the weight training program. Everyone's into drylands, and everyone's working their hardest in the pool, which, I mean, you do see here, but it's that next level.
Stone won her fourth straight state crown in the 500 and added the 200 title this year and contributed to the state championship 200 freestyle relay team. Pittsford won its third straight state title. When we return, Greg Kennedy of Webster is in the Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner. And later, a one-of-its-kind sports team at McQuaid. When the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Celebrate the holidays with delicious Dunkin' coffee. Stop by Dunkin' Donuts for 2 K-Cup boxes for $15.99 or 3 pounds of packaged coffee for just $19.99. America runs on Dunkin'. Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. This is the Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner, and we are pleased to be joined by Greg Kennedy, the Webster boys volleyball coach. Greg, 27 years of this. That's a good long run. What keeps you fresh?
Well, one, the kids do, because it's a brand new batch every time, and I'm a teacher, so it's the same thing. New classroom, dealt the cards, changes every time, and I love to see how every season progresses.
Now, volleyball is kind of funny because it's really good in these parts in Section 5, but there's a distinct line between like the haves every year and the have-nots. Webster's been kind of on the short side of that stick. Can that change, or are these programs really entrenched?
We're working on it, and I think you'll see sometimes it takes a little bit. Look at Spencerport, for example. Spencerport went through a couple rough times, but Aaron Austin's doing a great job out there. That program's on the rise. Brighton, who used to struggle a little bit back in the early 2000s, they come off a great state run last year. So you do get the PACE program helps because they're bringing kids from all over the community, and all it takes is that one spark athlete, and then you'll find the players around him will start to develop, or you'll get a key kid in baseball, we'll say, and he plays volleyball, and all of a sudden you get more multi-athletes coming in, and that helps a lot. You
teach here chemistry. Do you use the classroom as a recruiting base at all? Does that work?
In volleyball, it's almost too late because there's some special skills that take time to develop. What I like to do, though, is get involved with the modified program. We have the phys ed teachers bringing some of our students down to play volleyball during the phys ed classes. It's really cultivating that desire to want to learn the game as an 8th grader and freshman and stuff like that.
Now, your son was a guy a couple of years ago, I think, Player of the Year in Section 5, now at New Paltz.
Yes.
Explains the jersey. The Fairport Webster Schrader thing, though, that's an interesting dynamic.
That was a lot of fun. And boy, did that go quickly. You said 27 years, but that happened fast. We were looking forward, my JV coach, very close friend of the family, to him getting to playing age. And those actually 5 years that he was with JV and 4 years with varsity, they flew by. It was excellent. You couldn't ask for better.
But he came up through Fairport, and you're coaching against him in some cases.
Absolutely. But then his senior year, once my season was over, all of a sudden it was getting some advice from us from different strategies and using some of our film. So, like I said, there's a lot of dynamics to it, and it was wonderful. We really enjoyed it.
But you had mentioned that you wanted that dynamic. I mean, you wanted to live outside of the town where you were coaching.
Yeah, it can go in a couple different ways, but I've always seen as a teacher and as a parent, there's enough pressure on kids whose parents are teachers. There's expectations. To be in the same district, that pressure gets amplified. Whether it's a teacher running up to you and say, "What did your kid do today?" I wanted to get a little bit of distance.
Looking back on it now, was it the right thing to do?
Absolutely. Just because our kids are leading very successful lives, so we're very happy with the results.
But Fairport-Webster,
Fairport-Webster, it's cool. I get to live I'll take credit for the successes of Fairport and of Webster. It's all good.
Alrighty. Greg Kennedy has been our guest on the Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner. Coming up, we salute our Wegmans Making the Grade nominee. Kim Burnson joins us, and later, full body contact training as we take to the mats at McQuaid when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Welcome back, and thanks for watching the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field.
Making the grade this week is senior Mackenzie Peterson. Mackenzie is a 4-year starter and co-captain for Pittsford Mendon's varsity field hockey team. Through her first 6 games this season, she's helped her team to a fast start with 9 goals and 7 assists. When it comes to the classroom, Mackenzie's success is inevitable. Last year as a junior, she maintained a 93 average and has a schedule stacked with AP classes. She engages in student council as a class representative and is heavily involved with her school's animal club as the acting president. Believe it or not, she also holds a lead position in Spanish Club and is VP of Mendon's Interact Club, organizing school activities. It doesn't end when school lets out either. On top of all that, Mackenzie finds time during the summer months to volunteer with the Friends of Strong program in the Pediatric Surgical Suite. It's her dedication to her team and her community that make Mackenzie Peterson this week's Making the Grade honoree.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them in to info@classywolf.com. Now here's Bill with the Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar.
Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages at all stages of life. Quality health coverage. That's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org. How about a little basketball? Boys season begins with a couple of weekend tournaments. Eastridge will host Geneva, Monroe, and College Prep on Friday and Saturday. Spencerport hosts an all-county event inviting Brockport, Webster Schrader, and Canandaigua also on Friday and Saturday. Over on the girls' side, 2 events of note. Pittsford Sutherland will host HFL Victor and Webster Schrader, the invited guests. This one is a Thursday and Saturday affair. Brockport plays host to Eastridge, Greece Odyssey, and Spencerport on Friday and Saturday. Into the first full week of the high school hockey season, on Tuesday, Fairport is at Webster Schrader at 6, and then on Thursday it is Aquinas at Webster Thomas at 5:30, both of those games at the Webster Ice Arena. That is our Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. Coming up, we took in Crew at Mercy last week. This week, it's McQuaid serving us up something a little different when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Sign Impressions is more than just signs. It's a total graphics company. Embroidery, screen printing, team apparel, t-shirts, jackets, hats, and of course, banners and signs. Visit signimpressions.com. Call us at 723-0420 to order your team or corporate apparel. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. It is time now for our Honor Roll of High School Athletes, brought to you by Injury-Free Coalition for Kids. The Injury-Free Coalition for Kids of Rochester and the Smart Teen Driving Program, funded by the Allstate Foundation, encourages teens to pay attention, not get distracted, and to drive safely. Here's our Honor Roll of High School Athletes. At number 3, Demir Pross of the Bishop Kearney football team. Pross scored the last of his 32 touchdowns for the season in a state Class C semifinal loss to Newark Valley. Pross ran for 109 yards in that game. The Kings finished 11-1. Number 2, Tavon Granison, Greece Athena football. The beat goes on for the Trojans, 12-0 after a win in the state Class A semifinals over Whitesboro. Granison had a modest day by his standards, running for just 2 touchdowns while passing for another. And at number 1, Zach Estabrooks of the Victor football team headed to the AA finals after beating Christian Brothers Academy. The Blue Devils rarely have individual standouts, Estabrook scored 4 touchdowns. We think that qualifies. And now Sticky Lips Barbecue presents our Athlete of the Week. Is your school looking to raise money? Sticky Lips Barbecue has you covered. Check our community barbecue fundraiser. Sticky Lips quality is an easy sell. Visit StickyLipsBBQ.com for more details. You won't find the name Nicholas Atkinson in any box score. His journey into the Sports Beat spotlight would have been difficult to predict. He is the best of McQuaid's martial artists. First of all, the martial arts cast a wide net. Sort of, but not exactly, like a track team.
I got kids from Taekwondo, Ishinryu, Goju-Ryu, Seidokan. I got so many different styles that I don't want to interfere with their growth in their particular style. But as a coach, I want to enhance what they already have. So what we do is we work on technique, we work on the science of fighting, and we break it down, and I, build them up, and I just think I make them a little bit better.
The martial arts team at McQuaid grew from the interest of a female piano teacher at the school. That interest became a class, the class became a team. The only scholastic martial arts team, McQuaid claims, in the country.
Once I could tie that in my martial arts, my years in the martial arts, into my schoolwork or into representing my own school and what I do and what I love, I just found that amazing, that I could sort of make myself stand out a little bit more at my school, saying, hey, I'm captain of the varsity martial arts club at McQuaid, and hey, I've been doing this basically all of my life.
Nicholas Atkinson is impressive enough. He's an Eagle Scout for starters, a black belt, a participant in the martial arts since he was 6. Nicholas is now the captain of this team.
I sort of chose to do martial arts because as a kid I was a bit of a nerd. I was kind of bullied in school, and so I felt as if taking self-defense classes might help me, I guess, not just like physically stand up for myself, because obviously fighting, it's discouraged, but more so having this martial arts background sort of changes the way you think. It changes your morals. It makes you stand up for yourself, both either physically if necessary, but also mentally. You get a lot of self-discipline and self-control, and you gain a lot of things that I found insanely beneficial to me.
What kind of kid gets involved in the martial arts?
A kid who likes excitement. Okay, people say, nerds will take it. No, it's any kid that wants to say, how can I push myself to be a better person? Okay, those are the kids who really, really, really gravitate to that.
The McQuaid martial arts team participates at several tournaments, like the international event hosted at RAT last month. It's a tight fraternity of athletes. They compete and they learn.
My job is to make them better than me, okay? More responsible than me, more respectful than me. Always seeking to know more. I want them to exceed me as a person.
Obviously, when you start out as a white belt, you're in it for a little bit of fun, a little bit of doing some things to protect yourself. But then as you go up in the ranks, as you become a black belt like me, and as you even get to the higher degrees of black belts, you gain an appreciation for what all of this self-defense means. It's not just mindless drills or technical fighting, picking out things. It's establishing a mindset for how you act not only in the dojo but in the outside world.
Not only does McQuaid offer a martial arts option, but the aforementioned crew, and the Knights also have a rugby team too.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the 11 dealerships in the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible.
As do you. Thanks once again for watching, and we'll see you again next week with the Vision High School Sports Beat.